Hey everybody, Northern Lion here with yet another humble weekly roguelike spotlight. I hope I have those words in the correct order. Today we're going to be playing a little Dungeons of Dredmor, and this is one that is maybe a little bit more up your alley if you are a bit of a purist roguelike fan. That's not to say other people won't enjoy it as well. It's an excellent game, but it's turn-based, it's top-down, it's a little bit fantasy-minded, and it's got a lot of the elements that made roguelikes kind of tick in the first place, and more traditionally, if that makes sense. This is, of course, part of the Humble Weekly Roguelike Sale, and you can find that at the link in the video description below, but for now, we're going to get started. I'm really bad at this game, and it's definitely one of the most difficult games that's actually included in the bundle here, so don't expect me to do too well. Also, it's a particularly long game, so we're certainly not going to beat it here on our first try. That didn't necessarily come out the way that I intended. So, we have difficulty levels that we can choose right from the bat. We're gonna go with Dwarvish Moderation, even though it seems like going Rogue would probably be appropriate. And of course, Permadeath. You can actually tick this on or tick this off, depending on how you feel about things. But we're gonna play Permadeath on, because that's why they call them YOLO games, right? A cautionary tale of what is maybe to come. Now, this is one of the principal kind of interesting things about Dungeons of Dredmor for me, is that there are, how many here? 3, 6, 9, 10, so there's like 35 different skills that you can choose from. And you can choose 7 of them, and you can vary them up as you see fit every single run. So you have things like the first few here are just like weapon mastery, so you can get better at swords, or do more damage with daggers, or, you know, better at throwing weapons, or just melee combat with your arms and legs. Actually, I guess more than the first few here, like the entire first row. You also can get the ability to dual wield and do more damage with one weapon in each hand. You can get things like vampirism, which gives you lifesteal. Normally you regenerate health as you kind of move about the level. You can also get things like Laywalker, which allows you to quickly regain magic power, or what is the one I'm looking for? Perception. Perception allows you to see traps more intuitively, if that makes sense. It makes you see them easier. So you can vary this up, and, you know, no 2 runs in any roguelike are ever exactly the same, but in Dungeons of Dredmor in particular, they get really, really varied and really, really cool depending on what you take. You can also random if you want to. So we have swords, daggers, crossbows, or just archery, sorry. Berserker Rage, which is basically a class that allows us to kind of get stronger the more damage we do. Mathemagic, Psionics, Wand Lore, and I don't think I'm going to be doing very good with those, actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick with, let's click these off. I am going to take 1 weapon mastery, maybe we'll go with swords, and I'll take Berserker Rage, which allows me to do more damage as I kind of like build up the meter. I'm going to take Artful Dodger, which allows me to dodge enemy attacks more quickly. I'm going to take Perception, as mentioned. Now, with 3 more remaining, there is like a huge crafting and like smithing kind of system in the game, but I don't really deal with that too much because I'm bad. I'm going to take Assassination to improve my critical chance. Why don't we take Golemancy so that I can create golems, and what would be the another good choice? Archaeology. You start the game with the Fedora. That doesn't seem good enough for me. Maybe Master of Arms to make armor more effective. Let's take dual wielding. Could be interesting, and we'll finish this off. And we can choose our hero between, you know, bushy-eyed male and bushy-eyed female. I'm going to take bushy-eyed male, and we're just going to call him Northern Lion because I lack imagination. So, having done that, you can see the story. In ages long past, great heroes bound the Dark Lord Dredmor in the depths of the earth, that his evil would trouble the land nevermore. Alas, the foul-edged Dredmor proved most devious and patient, for he has been loosening his magical bonds, slowly freeing himself to again spread his evil in the world of light. He must be stopped again. Well, I've never stopped him in the first place, but, you know, big ups to the people that managed to lock him in here to begin with. So the way that the Dungeons of Dredmor works is that, effectively, we have to traverse 10 floors, I believe it's 10 floors, of dungeon crawling insanity here in order to win. And we'll probably only go to, like, floor 2 or 3, depending on if we even survive in the first place. And what's kind of unique about this, let me get up some of the menu stuff that I like to keep up here, like my inventory and my character sheet. I like to, or what was I going to say? It's a turn-based game as opposed to like the twin-stick shooter or real-time stuff that we've been playing so far. So that means that when we take a turn, enemies take a turn as well, at least when they're on the screen. Just to talk about what we've got going on here, just so you understand what the heck you're looking at. This is our character. We could, you know, spend our money, I believe they're called Zorkmins, at either a drink vendor or a food vendor. We can also come across like weapon vending machines. It's grid-based, as you can tell if you mouse over any of the grids here. And, you know, this is our inventory down here. We have lutefisk, which we could eat. It's like a fermented fish that gives us a little bit of health. We can also drink Dr. Sanin's new style Pilsner, which will give us magical power, and cheeses are going to be our principal way of replenishing our health. We also have the ability to create an animated blade being brings some malevolent silverware to life, at which point it twirls around and stabs anyone who runs into it, and it's not smart enough to move on its own. So that's our Golomancy, I believe. So our goal is to actually... Oh, I stepped on a trap like an idiot. Our goal is to actually find our way down to the next floor. I can't really do anything with that stone club yet, but I suppose I could do something with that bolt. Yeah, our goal is to find our way down to the next floor, and, you know, we've already found this staircase right off the bat, but it is not in our best interest to probably go down right away. Sometimes it can be. There's multiple entrances and exits on each floor. I should keep my inventory screen open here. There's multiple exits and entrances to each floor, and these can be important because sometimes you'll go down to the next floor and you'll find yourself surrounded by enemies, and the only way out is to go back up the staircase and then come down in another direction a little bit later, maybe when you're a little bit stronger, because there is like an RPG mechanic here that you level up the more you play. So, this is our first enemy. We can look at him. He's a blobby. He's asleep right now, which is why these Zeds keep kind of, you know, flying off his head. And I can say Zeds, the developers are from Vancouver, so back me up here, Gaslamp Games. These are Zeds, not Zs. It's a blob of animated slime, possibly from an adventurer's armpit. The monster has not noticed your presence. This monster is asleep. So we can attack him. That'll take one turn, and then the monster will wake up and hit us, and we'll hit him, and he'll hit us, and we'll hit him. And that'll give us some experience that you just saw go up there. Our experience bar is just above our mana bar here. We need 125 experience to level up. Only have 5 for now, so it's going to be a little bit of a long road. So we'll take the grated cheese for sure. There's some interesting stuff going on in Dungeons of Dredmor that I don't totally understand. And I don't mean like I don't understand why they put it in the game. Oh, what if I created a diggle by accident? What I mean is I don't fully understand how like all of the depths of the stuff in the game actually works. There's a lot of smithing. There's some levers that you can pull, and when you pull the levers, I believe that shifts the architecture of the map. Oh, there is some cheese here that I didn't even notice. Oh my god. Okay, destroy. My Berserker's Rage is active right now, by the way. That's why I'm doing a little bit more damage. Okay, so we'll take our adventuring pants. We'll put these on. What I'm getting at is I play in a very basic level. So, unlike some of the other roguelikes that we've played so far, but like some of the roguelikes that we will play as we come to the end of this Humble Weekly Spotlight, there are traps in this game, so we can actually choose to disarm these. We have a 45% chance to disarm it. Let's go for it. We didn't succeed. Let's try it again. The reason that I can do this without being punished is because I believe this is the trap. But anyway, eventually, there we go, I got it. So that was basically free experience for me. And we have the same thing over here, and I got free experience for that as well, so we might as well disable those whenever possible. We got some wooden bolts that I'll just pop into my inventory, and we can also get some extra points just by crushing these statues of Dredmor, which gives us heroic vandalism, 50 experience. That's actually a huge experience boost for us. Where is this trap? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's try it. Got it. There's a little bit more experience. We actually are closing in on leveling up. There are also teleportation pads, satanic displacement glyphs, as they call them, and we can take that, and it'll teleport us to not a random part of the remaining level, but another part of the level that actually has, an alchemy box. I will probably sell that, because I don't really know how to use it effectively, but, what was I going to say? Oh, there's another staircase as well. We probably don't want to take it right now, though. Let's get our inventory screen back up. I'm guilty of closing that. I should just keep it off the screen, because it's important to have that open a lot of the time. We will pick up this truffle, and we'll be able to destroy this blobby pretty quickly, I think. Once we actually start leveling up, it's going to be a little bit easier for me to kill these enemies on the first floor. But that's how these work, you know? You start out and you're usually a little bit weaker than the floor you're on, and then eventually, as a result of, gaining some experience, you can start doing a little bit better. So let's disarm this one. Oh, that one actually hurt me when I failed to disarm it, and it did it again and again. Okay, we're going to walk, and we're also going to eat some grated cheese, because if I don't, I will die. Now, the way that health regen works is that it's not instant, so you have to budget yourself some time. This also clears out my inventory, which is good. But you can see, like, let's eat, actually, let me see if there's, okay, ground meat is a good thing to eat right now. It gives us 3 health, but if you look at my health, it's 12 out of 28. I eat it, and then it doesn't do anything. But for the next 3 turns, or 2 turns, I guess, it gives me 1 HP per turn. And you can just, by the way, stand in the same spot and have your turn work if you want to. But there's no reason not to necessarily move around. In this case anyway, sometimes there will be. We got some gloves that change us a little bit and improve our stats. Equipment important, but, as is the actual experience that you get as well. It's a pretty sweet looking shirt, and we leveled up. Okay, so leveling up is neat. as you will see when we get here. So, when you level up, you actually have the opportunity to gain further mastery in one of the abilities that you chose to take of your original 7, assuming it's not passive. I don't think there actually are any like that, though, because like, even with sword mastery, we can learn new stuff. So, for sword mastery, we could learn Intendant's Overhaul. I think it's Overhaul, or actually, it is an Overhaul. So glad you asked. It's a particularly Teutonic and particularly painful attack, which you have a chance to execute with H melee attack upon learning the skill. Damage scales to your burliness, which is one of our attributes. So I chose to go with that. And, you know, you can look through these at your leisure after you actually pick it up. Maybe next level I'll get Animate Mustache, which would actually allow me to create an animated mustache that fights alongside of me, which would be awesome. But anyway, let's continue moving through here. I like disabling the traps, even though they unfortunately continue to hurt me here, because it would give me extra experience if I actually succeeded. Okay, fine linen shirt. I think our existing weapon is already better, so I'm just going to put that down there, and we'll pick up the gem. I really don't know what to do with these for the most part, because I usually die before I reach a point where it's actually acceptable for me to, or it's actually possible for me to do anything with these things. I'm actually going to close my character menu. Maybe we'll keep our inventory over here. So one thing oh, that was a stupid thing to step on. One thing particularly roguelike-ish about Dungeons of Dredmor is something I'm going to talk about in a second, because I don't want to talk about it right now while I am actually fighting these enemies, although this actual fight is working out pretty well for me so far, much to my surprise. Is this a smelter? I wonder if we could actually smelt ore here. I don't know, but we might be able to. I've never gotten far enough into Dungeons of Dredmor, despite having like 12 hours in the game over my, you know, quote-unquote career with it, to actually experience that stuff, because I usually die so quickly. But there is like a huge community in this game that is very good at what they do. Unfortunately, I am not necessarily 100% part of that. So what I wanted to talk about is what we've got going on here with these potions. So Infernal Potion. This fiery potion flickers and glows. It's hot to the touch. We have another potion, Potion of Lively Regeneration. All these potions have, at least the first time you use them, they have different effects. So, you know, you might have your own inclination as to what you think maybe an oil of vitriol does. It's a potion. This fluid is foul and largely unappealing. But the only way to figure out what actually happens, at least for the first time, is to actually drink it. So that did a lot of damage to me and is actually continuing to do damage over time as I walk here. So we should eat some cheese and slowly regenerate our health. I had a feeling this might happen. Okay, so now we're regenerating health again, so it's all good. And this is definitely a game that it warrants some, you know, cautious play, I think is a good way to put it. I wasn't accidentally just misnaming the famous heavyweight boxer. I'm gonna sell like all of this stuff that I don't really know how to use, because at least I can convert this into some delicious swords and whatnot. So we're up to 1,500. We should sell the modular alchemy box. We probably shouldn't sell the modular alchemy box, but I'm going to, because I don't know how to do anything with it. But nothing here really looks that appealing to me, so we can leave. We could also steal something, but then we would have to fight Brax, who is the shopkeeper. And, you know, like Spelunky, that's a decision that can have good things associated with it or bad things. Pray to Inconsequentia, the goddess of side quest. Maybe I should, actually. The monstrous regiment, Lord Dredmor's 21st cohort, the Cosmopolitan Diseases, has recently claimed possession of the artifact Pakul, the father of heresies. Too powerful for any man, it must be taken to the Mellow Shrine to be destroyed. Okay, I have my doubts that I'll actually be able to complete that, but thank you nonetheless, Inconsequentia, for your vote of confidence there. Good crits. And we actually have found a staircase down to the next level. This is like the first staircase I think we found in the game. But we're going to take it, and enemies get more and more difficult the further you get into the game. Like, let's just go through this combat first to see if I can actually survive. But like the game that I just covered yesterday, Teleglitch Die More Edition, this is a game where you're pretty unlikely... This is not going very well for me right now. You're pretty unlikely to succeed quickly. So... it's in your best interest. I'm actually about to die here. Oh no. Get out of here. Get out of here, please. There we go. I'm just walking to regenerate some health. It's in your best interest to save early and often, so you can pick up where you left off. So we're gonna fight death maybe, but I kind of want to eat. But Lutefisk is not really gonna be good enough to bring me back to full health. But we do have like some steaks here. That restores 6 of our health, and we have a cheese that restores 15. Why don't we try maybe summoning an animated blade being, if possible. Can we hit 1 to make that happen? Or we right-click? There we go. That's not where I wanted the animated blade being. That's okay. Maybe we can still make this work. Oh, come on. I have to step on the trap in order to get him here. Maybe we'll just fight the Electro Blobby. Nay. Oh, Jesus. What? I can actually see the trap as it stands. Okay, we're going to be fine here. Sure, let's try to take it apart. That is not very good for me. Okay, so I am very near to death here. There we go. At least we got that delicious Parmigiano Reggiano. Can death actually reach me here? Apparently not. I want to summon a blade being that will actually do some damage to death, but I can't get death to actually chase me down. I can get the chevre log. Everyone loves a nice goat cheese now and then. I don't know why I keep bringing up my character portrait instead of my inventory screen. That's just me being a big ding-dong, I guess. All right, you know what, Death? We can do this. You remember, you chose this. Oh, I stunned him. That was actually really good. I wanted to be okay here. That was me trying to eat that Danish, but accidentally casting down a blade being like a big ding-dong. Okay, so inventory screen. Let's get that open, and then we'll be able to proceed here. I don't think I need any extra health here. Might as well pick up like all the axes that we come across because there's no reason not to. We can always sell those later. Every time I close my inventory screen, please slap me. And every time I put down Lutefisk in not the Lutefisk drawer, you have my permission to hurt me as well. You can't really hurt me, you know, like in real life unless you're living with me, or at least you see me on a regular basis. But feel free to post a nasty comment, preferably something along the lines, you know, Northern Lion, you're a ding-dong, or something like that. I'd be okay with that. I'm going to put on some special greaves instead of the pants, and, you know, the pants kind of take up a lot of inventory space. Well, they take up the same inventory space as everything else, but I don't necessarily like them that much because I don't think they're going to sell for very much. Oh, there's a Northern Lions a ding-dong comment in the waiting. In our fridge, we find nothing. Okay, so why would you... Well, it's not even plugged in. I don't know if I would want whatever was in it in the first place. We might as well break these urns. And maybe we'll do one more floor. This is the one time I actually wanted to bring up my character screen. Maybe we'll actually do one more floor here before we stop the video. So we'll clear out this room. I don't know why I freaking close this every time. It's because I desire to have a clean screen, but... it's not worth it, man. Okay, so we could just teleport all over the world right now. Hey, we actually found a staircase down to the next floor, but I'm not going to take that just right off the bat. So as you, oh my god, are you serious? Do you see all these enemies I have to fight now? They're Diggles, which is kind of like the trademark enemy of the game, which means they should be fairly easy for me to fight here, because Diggles are not particularly strong. I'm just going to walk backwards here. Oh my god. How are there so... goddamn many of you? My blade being is not doing shit right now. Am I gonna die on the next turn? I don't think so. I have 4 health. Oh my god, they just keep spawning. This is not boding very well for me. Let me think about what I can do. I should probably eat a hearty cheese. Aged cheese, that's good enough for me. We need to escape from this goddamn room. Okay, Diggle. You're gonna be cut. I'm probably going to be killed on the next turn. This is bad for me. Yes, I have been killed. That is not unusual in Dungeons of Dredmor. That being said, I really wish that I'd performed a little bit better than that. He pounded like a giraffe, killed by a Diggle on level 2. Ugh. John Eyebrows is a little bit better. He was killed by a Thermo Blobby. That was probably on like level 4 or 5. But that's going to do it for this spotlight on Dungeons of Dredmor. Hopefully you kind of figure out what's going on with this game. I love Dungeons of Dredmor because it kicks my butt over and over and over, and I never am able to succeed at it. But in spite of that, I really love it in particular for its kind of like adherence to mostly traditional kind of roguelike conventions, and additionally, the staggering amount of combinations that you can do. No 2 runs will be the same. Well, if you play it like, what it would be like... I'm not going to make my, you know, complete ignorance of mathematics a spotlight right now. There's probably millions of combinations here. So I guess theoretically, literally, objectively, you could exhaust all the permutations. But that is pretty good value for your money, considering it's pay what you want. And of course, the money is going to a good cause. So as always, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Humble Bundle Spotlight, especially if you have not actually heard of Dungeons of Dredmor before. Hopefully this is a little bit educational for both of us, because I know it was educational for me, for sure. As always, if you want to pick up the Roguelike Weekly Sale, you can pick it up at the link in the video description below. And of course, I will see you next time.